Japanese restaurant versus foreign tourist, why you're not going in. So I've seen a lot of people, I know a lot of like places in Japan, they don't serve tourists or gaijin. I asked Sayu why that is, and she says it's less about like a dislike of the strangers and more so an awkwardness. Like a lot of the gaijins or the tourists that go there, they don't really know how to act. They don't really know about these little things. For example, like going up the escalator, there's one line for the people that, you know, are running up the escalator, and then there's one line for the people that are going slowly. And so that's why I think a lot of Japanese restaurants and places that they'd rather just not have to deal with this awkwardness in behavior and the culture clash.
In Tokyo that I want to take you for dinner. A place where the chicken is grilled so slowly and meticulously by hand, it practically melts like butter in your mouth.
Butter.
A place where the edamame are so crisp and refreshing, they taste like they've just been plucked.
One of the things that I want to do in Japan is eat real wasabi, because apparently the wasabi that we have here is not real. It's like a fake one. Kind of like truth oil. That shit's always fake. Most of the time it's not real truth they use.
From the meadows of Kyoto. A place where the fresh fish is so delicately sliced it glistens like stars in the night sky.
Our wasabi is horseradish. Truffle, sorry, truffle. I said it in French. Truth.
Where, oh wait, never mind. You can't go in there. Well look, don't worry, I do know a good place around the back of the Sensoji Temple. I think it's called Burger King or something. Let's go there instead. Come on. Oh shit. So recently, a Tokyo restaurant enjoyed some viral success online after declaring only Japanese speakers can enter. Obviously a subtle difference from outright saying Japanese only. But call me Mr. Cynical, but it does seem like the owners found an ingenious loophole to basically ruling out most foreign customers. Now I've always said if you're moving to Japan, for God's sake, learn the language. You'll find it deeply rewarding, and also as a matter of courtesy, I think it's only right you should learn.
I'm so behind on my Japanese learning though. I'm trying to repeat what I hear in animes, okay? I only know desune and... Okay, I'm blanking. I swear I know more words than that. I know sugoi. It means wow. And I know kisama. That means bastard. I know desuwa. I know baka, but I don't think I'll use that to somebody in Japan. Maybe do a Japanese learning stream someday? But how do we do that? Like, is it just me doing Duolingo on stream, or is it something else? Yeah, I've heard Tokyo is very tourist friendly, and Sayu's gonna be there, so she's really good at speaking Japanese, so I think we'll be fine. Watch no subtitles anime. But you know what's frustrating for me is that I learned my English watching English cartoons with French subtitles. And I learned so fast. Like, I was the best English speaker at my school. But for Japanese, I'm really not absorbing it as fast. And perhaps like I wasn't paying close enough attention. Now that I try to, like, when they say stuff, I try to repeat them out loud, or I try to pay more attention. I'm learning a bit more than in the past like 5 years of watching anime. But yeah, I'm wondering if it's the age factor. Like when you're a kid, you just absorb things like much quickly. I know how to say moite kita. That means I'm all fired up. Although I don't think we're gonna use that. I don't think that's gonna get me really far in Japan. Formal and informal Japanese is confusing. Everybody says that Duolingo is horrible for Japanese. Oh, there's one that's like interesting.
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast now in my 40s. Cara triste.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. I'm sorry. I know, we're all getting pea-brained. Do you know how to ask where the bathroom is? No. Oh shit, what is the thank you so much in Japanese? Something gozaimasu. No? I know how to say tadaima. Oh yeah, arigatou gozaimasu. Yes, that's about it. That's all my Japanese. I think misu is water. Duolingo taught me that.
The language of the country you're moving to. But to come here on holiday for a couple of weeks, I think it's a bit too much to expect foreign tourists to master the world's most...
Yeah, I keep forgetting. I keep saying the U, like, but it's O in Japanese. Like the U are O. That's one thing I learned really early on. People kept making fun of me, and I still do it. Oi, you. Yeah, you. Hi. If you're not subscribed to my second channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So take a moment, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell on. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now let's get back into the video.
Language for a few days stumbling around Tokyo. As a tourist in Japan, you pretty much need to know only 5 key phrases to get around, again, as a matter of courtesy, more than anything. And those phrases are...
Konnichiwa. Oh, arigatou gozaimasu. Sumimasen? Okay, sumimasen, I didn't know that one. Kore wa pen desu. This is a pen. Why would you need this? Who uses a pen? I recently bought pens because I wanted to start drawing on paper again, but I didn't have any pen at home. Why would you need to know that? Where's Burger King? There's no way I go to Burger King in Japan. Are you crazy? Baga Kingu wa doko desu ka? Oh, that's how they say Burger King. Baga Kingu? Sounds kind of cool.
What I love about this rule is it even rules out people who have been studying Japanese for like 3 to 6 months. If we take a look at the menu, you need to know 3 writing systems to get around this, as well as complicated vocabulary involving fish. That's not something you're going to learn over a casual weekend. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm smart. I've got Google Translate. I'll take a photo of the menu and translate it over.
That's my plan.
English. And actually, it can work pretty damn well. Right up until you find...
They serve your burger with a coffee there? Not even a Coke?
An indecipherable handwritten menu. You know, I've walked into restaurants with handwritten menus so complicated, even the finest Japanese scholars of the written word would struggle to understand what the fuck is going on. Still, of course, there's
corn
two sides
vegetables?
to every argument. And in this case, a lot of local restaurants in Tokyo are family-owned businesses reliant
Wow, that street is so pretty.
on regular customers, usually locals. Repeat customers are the lifeblood of a small business, so it's understandable perhaps that restaurants want to prioritise locals. And the owner of this restaurant argued that foreign customers weren't spending as much money as his regulars as well.
Really?
But before we crack out the violin, imagine coming to Japan.
Honestly, that's kind of like how my mom fleeced the bus driver in Mexico. I was so embarrassed. We had to almost run away. Actually, we did run away.
On holiday and being berated just for walking into the wrong restaurant, as happened when a couple walked in and were made to feel guilty for not being able to speak Japanese and told to bring an interpreter in a completely over-the-top and unkind manner. He also likes to vent his frustration at Japanese customers as well, if they don't like his cooking, God forbid, as we can see in these very happy, upbeat Google restaurant reviews. Cheap and fast are the best, but unfortunately the taste is not good. I hope you try a little harder on the taste.
Damn!
It's not that the taste isn't good, but cheap and fast food is bad. So you should change your stupidity and go to a restaurant that's expensive and delicious. I'll say it again. Let's go to a restaurant, fucking hell,
Jeez.
that serves expensive and delicious food. That stupid tongue, the worst kind of tongue that there is. It wasn't tasty. This is
Nijisanji has already gone to Japan. Rima will be heading to Japan as Parrot. Parrot has never gone out of the country, so that's going to be his first trip ever. He's very excited. Nijisanji's already gone to Japan, so he actually knows a lot more than us, and he already wants to show us like a few places that he spotted last time. And I was like trying to look up places or like videos of places that people have done like on TikTok, like where to go out. And there was like this secret club. And I was like, oh guys, apparently this place is hype. Should we go there? And Nijisanji was like, what the fuck? I went there. I went there. It's like a door that looks like nothing. It's like a hidden club.
This is a restaurant that seems to be established with regular customers. Price per person, 2,000 to 3,000 yen. 49 likes. I'm glad I was able to write about the fantasies of the garbage scum. Fantasies of the garbage scum. I'm glad I was able to write about the fantasies of the garbage scum of a human who hasn't visited the store. Fantasies of the garbage scum, I love it. It's the Tolkien masterpiece I never knew I needed. And the final and perhaps most scathing review of all simply says, shopkeeper with a Paleolithic head.
Why is that a review? Paleolithic head is like a shape of his head?
Beer one. You've got to admit, Japanese reviewers are pretty damn savage.
Yeah.
Anyway, what if you desperately want to enter this prestigious restaurant and be served by a shopkeeper with a Paleolithic head? How much Japanese would you need to know? How long would it take? And where the
Like when we were looking at places, none of the places had 5-star reviews, and Sayu said it's because people are like really like if it's a 5-star place, it needs to be like the expectation for 5 stars are super high. Yeah, from the dinosaur era. Okay, that's what I thought. I was just confused about it.
The hell would you even start? So in this video, I want to go over the 3 main hurdles you'll face.
We are going to a place with Wagyu beef. We're going. That's a place Nuzagi wants to bring us to. 3.5 or higher is good there. Yeah, exactly. It's okay. So that's normal. Yeah. 5 star is literally impossible. We couldn't find anything 5 star.
When studying Japanese, and some potential strategies for getting around it. The rewards of studying Japanese are great. Not only do you get to enter this restaurant, but you get to communicate with 120 million people, gain a whole new way of thinking, and perhaps above all, you can watch Shogun without subtitles. Oh, I need my ship back. Oh, I want to go to Wales. And before we get to the Japanese, I have to say this sort of thing.
Cooking streams, nothing wrong or cool.
Wait, what? Rima cooking streams, nothing wrong could go? True. I have to find, that is on my list. I really want to do this soon. I've received no, you know what I need? I need those like Pippa had that, like a heater thing that I can put on my desk and stream from there. And I need to find, I bought the equipment to do a cooking stream like a long time ago and I can't fucking find where I put it. That's the other thing I need to do.
Is incredibly rare, you know. I don't want folks thinking that this is the norm, because in 12 years of living here, I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've walked into a restaurant and been made to sort of feel uncomfortable for not being Japanese.
Okay.
The topic's especially prescient right now, as over-tourism is a very popular theme in the media. A couple of months ago, I discussed how Kyoto's geisha district of Gion unfortunately decided to ban tourists.
What? No, but I really want to go to the geisha tourist. Sorry, not the geisha tourist. I want to go. I want to have a tea ritual served by a geisha, and then I want her to dance for me while I drink sake around the U table and all of that. I want all this traditional stuff. I love geisha culture. What kind of dance? Like, you know, like the really like slow dance they have, like with the fans and stuff, and they move like just a little, but it's so good. And then sometimes they play this string instrument that's like beautiful. I fucking love that. I love that.
From certain streets to protect neighbourhoods after a few incidents. A sad but necessary move to protect that historic quarter of Kyoto and the geisha who still live and work there. Since then, though, every week there's been an onslaught of news stories about over-tourism, about this topic. Like a few weeks ago during Golden Week, one of the busiest weeks of the year, this laughable ANN news report did the rounds.
Oh no, is it gonna be that busy when I go there? No, it's gonna be that busy, isn't it? Oof. Oh, that's disappointing. I'm going during Sakura season 2, so it's going to be very busy. Bro, if there's that much tourism there, they must be making banks, like the commerce there.
Showcasing the horrors of an overflowing bin in Kyoto. Oh my god, how
dude,
will Japan...
every one of our bins here are overflowing. I've never seen a bin that's not overflowing in Canada.
recover from this? I mean, the other day I was walking through Asakusa at night doing some photography, probably about 10 p.m. And I watched a group of very drunken 20-year-old Japanese guys walking towards me, screaming, shouting, slamming half-drunk cans of Strong Zero into the pavement, terrorising pedestrians. And I thought, gosh, if only ANN News were here to cover this incident with their painstakingly objective news coverage. If a Strong Zero can falls in the forest and there's not a Japanese TV crew to film it, can we still blame the mess on foreign tourists? Yes, we can. Anyway, Kyoto itself benefits massively from tourism. In 2018 alone, it made $8.7 billion. And they would do well to invest the money in handling the very tourists they're profiting from by, I don't know, buying another bin. Should we buy another bin for 8.7 billion? Put another bin out on the busy week? Another bin on the busy week? No? Alright. Still, Kyoto is so last week anyway. Thanks to TikTok, there's a far more tantalising tourist hotspot doing the rounds right now.
What is it?
Tourists have been flocking to a footbridge and a Lawson at the base of Mount Fuji after some TikToks went viral, showcasing the view of Mount Fuji majestically floating in the sky over Lawson, with swarms of tourists descending upon the streets to get the shot, dashing across traffic and causing all
what
around
is
mayhem
this?
Now, it might just be me, right? But I don't so much see
I don't see the appeal in this place. I won't go there.
a floating Mount Fuji over Lawson as Mount Fuji being fucking blocked by Lawson. This is a shit angle, I don't understand.
Yeah, it is
They
a
say
shit angle.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but this is
I love this
bollocks.
movie.
I don't get
Makes a lot of points to think about.
Oh yeah, is he great?
it. I don't understand. Who needs the iconic
That's
Chureto Pagoda
beautiful.
when you can have a concrete footbridge?
Huh? Wait, why? What happened to the view?
It wouldn't be a trip to Japan without it. And you have to wonder what kind of wacky, original, brilliant angles that we'll find going viral on TikTok next. You haven't seen Himeji Castle until you've glimpsed it from the Family Mart car park. You simply haven't experienced the King Kakaji
That looks beautiful.
until you've witnessed it sandwiched between the Coca-Cola vending machines at dawn. You know Itsukushima Shrine doesn't look the same as when it's obstructed by the Daily Yamazaki at sunset.
Why do they have a shrine in the water?
No more fun for anyone. They're going to build a wall 8 feet tall, obstructing this must-see view forever. Necessary or radical, you decide. This issue will be resolved
Oh, low
forevermore.
tide?
Well, that is until everyone discovers the Family Mart just around the corner with the exact same view. Oh God, here we go again.
This is so dumb.
Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, aren't you the same guy that claimed you could speak Japanese fluently in 6 months in that video all those years ago, back when you looked good? Well, I maintain it can still be done. I think you can learn to speak Japanese fluently in half a year and have a good conversation. However, what you can't do, viewers, is read my decadent menu and all the kanji characters that come with it. 3 writing systems, 2,200 characters, an undertaking so difficult it takes the average Japanese student 12 years of formal education to master. Again, you might be thinking, nonsense, I can learn kanji characters. Look at this one. It means tree. And it sort of looks like a tree, for God's sake. Of course I can remember that. And this one means fire. And it sort of looks like a bonfire. Easy.
Yeah.
All too easy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And tell me, what does this one mean? Well, that one means...
Castle. It looks like a castle.
Now, fuck off. Unfortunately, there's no real shortcut to this. Even if you have the world's greatest memory, you can't break the laws of physics. You need all the time you can get to pack these thousands of characters into your head. Now, thankfully, learning kanji is bloody good fun, and you can feel the benefit pretty damn fast when you start to look at characters and know what they mean. And I've met people who've been able to learn how to write all 2,200 characters in 18 to 24 months. Hell, it took me about a year to learn 1,000. But make no mistake, to get this done takes years. And once you've learned them, you need to practice them, revise them over and over again, so you don't forget how to write them. If you do want to learn the kanji characters, get yourself this book right here, which teaches you some clever tricks to make sense of the squiggly lines and how to write them. And then combine that with a spaced repetition system like Anki, essentially a digital flashcard system that forces you to constantly recollect what you've just learned, so you don't forget hours and days after. Back when I first moved here, a lot of people I knew were doing language hacking, which sounds a lot cooler than it is, but essentially finding these ways and tips to get around what seems like an insurmountable task. And the people I know who succeeded in learning how to write all 2,200 characters and commit them to memory combined that book with this system and were able to shove all the characters into their head. Learning thousands of words is one thing, but being able to fluently communicate with the entire sentence structure is essentially reversed and flipped on its head. That will break your brain, as I discovered. Quick example, to say the person speaking with the teacher is my friend. In Japanese you'd say, Sensei to hanashiteru hito wa watashi no tomodachi desu. Which literally translated means, the teacher with speaking person my friend is. Essentially, it's just Yoda.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
stole the
say!
Japanese speech pattern and translated it into English, literally. But to be able to speak like this naturally, there's no real shortcut. You have to keep practicing over and over. Speaking aloud with people, kind of rewiring your brain almost, which takes weeks and months to feel natural.
Bro, he was so young in those videos.
Now, luckily, there are some useful tips. Number one, when you're speaking Japanese with friends and whatnot, like, don't ever switch back to your native tongue. Don't switch back when you fail to remember a word. Naturally, it's not uncommon for a beginner to start speaking, hit mid-sentence, then realise they don't know the word. Screw it all up and then revert back to their native tongue. Don't do that. Think about what we do in English mid-sentence when we're trying to think of something. We kind of go, some people worse than others, a bad habit. But learn the Japanese for that. And of course, early on when you don't know most of the Japanese vocabulary, there's going to be loads of words you don't know. Rather than switching back to English or fumbling for your dictionary when talking, speaking with a Japanese friend, use explanatory phrases to try and get around it. For example, if you don't know the word chushajo means car park, be like, oh, kuruma tometeru basho wa nanteyu? Nihongo de. Oh, chushajo.
What?
Yeah, okay. What if you don't know the word for scissors? You could be like, kami o kiru mono wa nan toimasu ka? Oh, hasami. Like, that's the way to do it, right? Don't keep going back to your native tongue. Don't get your phone out. Just keep going, plowing ahead and using ways around it like that. The longer you stay in Japanese, the more you think in Japanese and the quicker you kind of learn and master the language. Obviously, if you're in Japan, you have a major advantage as you can talk to people around you.
But why do they have different ways of writing? This is way too complicated.
And you're immersed in it 24/7. But even if you're not here, you can still sit in a quiet room and practice the phrases aloud. And there's so many good resources these days to help you get the job done. Like these books
What does
right here, which
Sudesune mean?
I recommend each and every one of them, especially this one. But I've saved the biggest reason you'll fail till last. And it's the reason most people I know fail. It's the reason I kind of fail.
Oh, it means oh,
Originally,
I
had all
see.
sorts of reasons for point
means
3,
oh.
like politeness, the complicated politeness, the cultural nuances. But actually, it's a lot simpler than that. So the best way to explain why mastering Japanese
Yeah,
is so damn
Naruhodo.
difficult
Oh yeah, I remember
is
that
with
one.
this
Because it sounds like Naruto.
unspeakably crap hand drawing. Sorry, this is all I can do. Learning Japanese.
And anime people say that a lot. Naruhodo. Japanese don't have spaces between words. Naruto is what you're gonna eat in your ramen. Yeah, I know. I order usually some Narutos in my ramen.
is not so much climbing a mountain as an entire bloody mountain range. And it starts with Mount Fuji, a steep, nightmarish incline where the knowledge comes thick and fast. But so does the relentless
Yeah, but calligraphy and cursive is the same letters. They're just like aesthetically different, but slightly different. They're still like the same. It's the same alphabet. Do they have the same alphabet in Japanese in all their different writing style? Because they seem like different symbols altogether.
brutality of the climb itself. But it's in that period that you'll learn the most commonly used words and kanji characters, as well as potentially being completely overwhelmed by it all. And after a year, if you're still committed and you keep on going, you can make it over Mount Fuji and begin the long, arduous climb up Mount Everest, where the challenge is massive but a lot more gradual. You've learned the basics, you can sort of communicate, and it gets a lot easier to wedge all the vocabulary and all the characters into your head. It just takes lots and lots of time. Most folks will fail around here at the start of Mount Fuji.
Oh, they're
and
the
the reason
same
you'll fail is
material,
simple.
okay.
Motivation. When you discover how much you have to learn to get over this first mountain, how much time you have to commit to study. And when that dawns on most people, I find they sort of lose steam quite quickly in their studies. I
Yeah.
actually started learning Japanese about 2 years before I came here as a teacher. I took like classes on the side of my degree, and I had no motivation because I didn't know if I had a job here waiting for me. I never thought I'd actually end up in
Bro, British people are unreal.
Japan. It wasn't until I got here and ended up in a school surrounded by students and teachers and colleagues that I couldn't communicate with.
Guys, I feel like Uber eating Japanese food right now. Why does he have food in his video in the background? Where is he, by the way? Is this his restaurant, or is it like, does he have a deal with somebody that he's gonna film in his restaurant once it's closed?
That I started to actually go, oh shit, I really want to know Japanese now. It was
Is
only
this
then
bar?
that I really had that powerful motivation.
I did
to
not
learn.
do my
Bit of a flawed
taxes.
strategy, like, oh yeah, I'll learn how to swim after I've dived into the sea. But I know I'm not
It's
alone
his
in that. I know I'm
students,
not
the
alone in
sex?
being a bit of an idiot. And I think unless you've got a
It's
powerful
fake
motivation,
food, but it looks warm. Doesn't look fake. Apparently, oh yeah, I was looking at some kind of like workshop that we could do in Japan. I don't think we're gonna do them because they all seem like scam, but one of them was like, do you want to learn the art of making fake food? Dive into the art of making fake food in the traditional Japanese style. Is this like a popular thing there?
like living in Japan, working.
It's got, the only other place where I've seen fake food is in Miami. In Miami, they have all the fake food like on that one strip like that's near the beach, and they try to get you into the restaurants by displaying the fake food.
Japan, or knowing for 100% sure that you're going to end up in Japan, then I just don't think you'll have the motivation to see this through and to keep going. I also set myself constant challenges to try and keep pushing me. For example, I did a JLPT language test, I did a speech contest. I had these big silly goals that kept me going and kept pushing me. But even when you do get here, many people discover that they can get by on 3 to 6 months of Japanese and sort of do what they need to do in everyday life. Statistically, you're here and you'll always be here. And there's nothing wrong with that. You only live once, and the most important thing we have is time and how you choose to use your time. And unless you plan to live or work in Japan, or you just want to watch all that.
I choose to spend my time eating monster ramen.
anime and manga without
YOLO.
subtitles, then this is a massive time investment that might not be a good idea. After 3 years, I switched out my intensive studies of Japanese.
Wait. Did he say to watch anime mangas without subtitles, or did he say it's bad?
All the anime and manga without subtitles, then this is a massive time investment
No, he
that might
says
not
it's not
be
a good idea.
a good idea. After 3 years, I switched out my intensive studies of Japanese and switched it to YouTube and filmmaker stuff because that was what I was passionate about and that's what I wanted to do. And sometimes I regret not going further than I did, but I'm proud that I got over the Fuji bit and I'm glad I got halfway up Everest because I never thought I'd be able to speak, comprehend or communicate in another language at all, let alone Japanese. I was, you know, as an 18-year-old, I would never have imagined that
I could watch hentais without subtitles. I'll probably understand enough.
was going to happen, so that's pretty fucking cool to me anyway. But if you find your motivation to do something, even the most seemingly impossible task becomes doable. And in the case of learning Japanese, whether it's moving to Japan, doing a JLPT language test or a speech contest, just keep finding ways to challenge yourself and you will stay motivated in the long term. And of course, if you do keep going, if you do become fluent, you can set foot in this restaurant. For that alone, it's a completely worthwhile endeavour, of course.
That was a really good video.